So please welcome to the stage Chris Freitag.
Thank you. Thank you, you guys. By the way, I'm not here to have you exercise today. I'm sure you are all really happy about that. Oh gosh, I hope she doesn't make us move around. Lifestyle choices that you make really can make a big impact on your life. And it's nice to be in a room of passionate women who also are, interested in doing things that can help them feel better, take care of themselves, and take care of their families. So health is a really important subject. Good health touches everyone on some level. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, male or female, who you work for, what you do, where you live. Good health touches everybody. And it used to be, because I've been doing this for a long time, it used to be that health was not everyone's favorite subject. They'd be like, oh, here she comes, talking about health again. But now today, people are pretty darn interested in it. It's trend right to take care of yourself. People want to feel healthy. They want to do the right thing. They want to take care of others. They want to eat the right foods. And so health is an important part. I don't want to live my life getting into shape. I want to be in shape to live my life. I hear from so many women that say, when I get in shape, I'm going to do this, or that. When I feel better, I'm going to do this, or that. Don't you want to be a participant in your life? Don't you want to be taking better care of yourself already so that you can live your life? If you eat a little healthier and you move a little more, and notice I took out the word exercise. It says move more. Because some of you frown at the word exercise. I know it. We're going to talk about that. You will perform better in every aspect of your life. In your relationships, at your job. As a matter of fact, healthy people are 40% more productive than unhealthy people. Employers are starting to figure that out. A healthy employee is a happy employee. We can't afford sick days. We can't afford to miss work anymore. We want to be healthy because it's all about baby steps. It's not about changing your life radically. It's about making small, doable changes over time that you can stick with. It's called lifestyle. It's called lifestyle. So how many of you would like to wake up in the morning, feel a little bit less stressed, a little more rested, have a little more energy, feel better? How many of you have a birthday every year? All of you? Okay, that's a good thing because statistics prove that those who have the most birthdays live the longest. So you're doing something right. Strive for progress, not perfection. I've actually written a lot of blogs on perfection because I am a recovering perfectionist. Anyone else in here? I grew up as somebody who wanted to be perfect all the time. But you know what perfect is? Perfect sets you up for disappointment. Don't be perfect. It's okay not to be perfect. Strive for progress, not perfection. There's no such thing as perfection. So make little changes all the time. And when you can get that perfect thing out of your head, you can make easy, doable changes in certain parts of your life that you feel really good about. When it comes to eating healthy, I want you to remember two things. It's a super simple equation. Quantity and quality, two keywords. Quantity and quality, that's not hard, right? So quantity, I don't think I have to tell you, portion control. We eat too much in America. Would you agree with me? Yeah, it's just, sometimes it's not even that you need to eat less of, or that you need to stop eating what you love, you just need to eat less of it. We need to eat smaller portions. In our case here in America, we have that bigger is better philosophy, and we use that philosophy for a lot of things in our world, here in our country. And it's marketing. You think if I get more for my money, it's a better deal. But that's not always the case, and certainly not when it comes to food. Would you agree with me that at restaurants now, they don't have plates anymore? They have platters. You eat on a platter at a restaurant now. So your eyes see that big platter come and you go, wow, look at all that food. But at the end of the day, it's not doing you any favors. Calories, the definition is tiny creatures that live in your closet and sew your clothes a little bit tighter every night. Figure out how much you've been eating and measure it out. Now, people will say that to me, I don't want to measure my food. Okay, you don't want to, but anything that you're kind of passionate about, you take the steps to figure it out and you do what it takes. So measuring your food is super interesting. Look on packaging and find out what a serving is. Measure it out and see if that's what you're used to eating. You'll probably be pretty surprised that 7 chips is a serving or a half a cup of cereal is a serving. Sometimes that's just eye-opening. And you don't have to do it for the rest of your life, but do it for a week. Do it for a week and take a look at what you're eating. And maybe you even journal what you're eating, because that makes a big difference too. Quit the Clean Plate Club. You don't have to clean your plate anymore. You can, but you don't have to, and especially at a restaurant. Cut it in half. Take half of it home to begin with. Share an entree with somebody else. Order off the kids' menu. Eliminate liquid calories. That's such an easy one. That's such an easy one. So many of us drink these drinks that have so many calories in them. If you just skip that, you could potentially lose some weight. How many of you have a domino food, a trigger food? Yeah, I would think everybody does. I have some of those carbs. For me, it's grainy carbs. Any kind of a carb, you can't stop. And it's true, you can't stop. Sugar, carbohydrate, they're addictive. You have a domino food that you know is your downfall, don't eat it. Don't buy it. Don't have it in the house. Portion it out. Don't sit there with the bag at your computer. It's going to be a problem. And have it your way. You know, we go to the restaurants all the time, and my husband, I feel like he used to call me Meg Ryan from When Harry Met Sally, because he's like, oh boy, here she goes again. Because I'd say, I'll take that on the side, no dressing, move this, change that. He'd be like, are you done ordering? But you know what? I get it my way. When my meal comes to the table, people will say to me that I'm with, how'd you get that? How'd you get those, vegetables and no potatoes? I asked for it. How many of you have been on a diet or are on a diet right now? Any of you? Come on, these are women. Have you been on a diet? Exactly. Nobody loves diets. People don't stay on diets for longer than a certain period of time. The first 3 letters in the word diet are die. People don't like diets, and they don't last. They're not a lifestyle. So take those 4 letters, change them around, and edit what you eat. Make healthier choices. Look at what you've chosen, and then edit what you eat, and that can really help you. Real food grows and dies. It isn't created. Food rots. It wilts. It can become unappealing rather quickly. Real food doesn't stay in your fridge or on your shelf for a long time. Food doesn't need a label. Food does not make health claims. There's no health claims on the side of a bag of celery. Well, are you passionate about yourself? Are you passionate about your health? Then make a commitment to what you're going to do. And sometimes it takes planning, but you plan your vacations, don't you? You plan Christmas dinner. You plan the things you care about. So maybe it's coming up with a weekly plan. You can't always have those huge goals. What are you going to do this week? What are you going to do today? How is it going to happen? How are you going to create this plan? What is it all about? People do races for all different reasons. Sometimes it's for charity. Sometimes it's for their health benefits. Maybe it's for the training time or the girlfriend time. And my oldest turned to my husband and said, Dad, there's no way Mom's going to win this race. He thought I wanted to win. Because in an 8-year-old's mind, why else would you do a race if you weren't trying to win? But that wasn't my goal. That wasn't my commitment. My commitment was something different. So commit to what it is that you care about in your health. Find something accessible and easy. It's got to be convenient. That's the second C. Now, it kills me when people say to me, I'm going to start this new program. I'm signing up for whatever it is, some program that's not convenient. And I said, well, how long are you going to stay with that? I don't know. Let's see. Well, I can already tell you 1 week, okay? 1 week, because nobody's going to stick with anything that's inconvenient or they don't like to do. People will say, Chris, how do you burn the most calories? And I'll turn it around and say, well, what do you like to do? That doesn't matter. What I need now is to burn the most calories. It does matter. It matters what you like to do, because what you like to do, you are going to what? Commit. You're going to do it more often. If you hate to swim and I tell you to jump in the pool, how often are you going to do that? Probably for about a week, until you go, I don't like this. So find something you like to do. Move your body. It doesn't have to be exercise. Do you like to dance? Do you like to walk? Walking is the #1 form of exercise because it's fairly doable for everybody and accessible. Are you a runner, elliptical? You tell me. The CDC now says, okay, the onus is on you. 150 minutes of heart pumping exercise a week. You decide when. You decide when it works. So is it 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, an hour on the weekends when you're training for whatever it is? Or you divide up those 150 heart pumping minutes, but that is the exercise guidelines, activity guidelines. Actually, they use the word activity for adults. So 150 minutes of heart pumping exercise. Program movement is, I'm going to get dressed, I'm going to go exercise. But spontaneous movement is, I'm going to take the stairs instead of the escalator. I'm going to walk farther in the parking lot. Those sound so silly to people, but at the end of the day, they add up. And your activity counts at the end of the day. It just doesn't have to be complicated. It's about making doable little changes that you can sustain over time. Mental health is also a really big part of it. How many of you agree with me on that? How many of you agree with me on that? Yeah, mental health is a really big part of who we are and our physical health. It really relates to our physical health. And there are a lot of things that you can do to improve your mental health. The first thing that people can do, or that we can do, is to prioritize. Now that sounds so basic, duh, prioritize, I know how to do that. Okay, well let me ask you, the late Stephen Covey, a great man, the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Get those priorities a little higher on the list. Your to-do list is not necessarily in order of priority, of what matters to you the most. So changing that can make a really big difference in your life. Number one excuse in America for everything. What is it? I don't have time. Those 4 words. Think about everything. I don't have time to take care of myself. I don't have time to go to the grocery store. I don't have time to cook dinner for my family. My job is so busy. I don't have time to sleep. I don't have time. We all say those things. And when people ask me about exercise, I say, I don't have time to exercise. I really don't. I make time. I make time because it's on my priorities, and I take it from the bottom of that list and I try to mentally pull it to the top of that list so I get it done. When you are about to utter those words, I don't have time, under your breath or in your head say, I chose to do something else I thought was more important. So change it. When you're just about to say, I don't have time to feed my family, change those words and say, I chose to do something else I thought was more important. And maybe that'll make you go, I need to re-look at the way I use my time. Someone who is busier than you is running right now. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a hotel and woke up in the morning and thought, well, I exercise at home so much, so when I'm in a hotel, I'm just gonna lay on my bed, open my computer, get some stuff done, and I would open up my computer and that was on my screensaver, and it made me get up some days and go get on an elliptical down in the hotel or whatever it was, just because I was like, darn it, if the President of the United States has time to run, so do we. Stress. Now, wasn't life much easier when apples and blackberries were just fruits? So much stress. We're connected to technology all the time, and our stress levels are high, and we're trying to balance so many things. We have so many things pulling at us all the time. No longer is stress an activity. Stress used to be like an event, like, gee, I'm stressed out, will my team win? Today, stress is just something we swim in. We have stress all the time. So reducing stress is really important. And one of the things that stresses us out is work-life balance. Don't fixate on perfect balance. There is no such thing as work-life balance, just so you know. There is no such thing. Everything that is worth fighting for in your life will unbalance you for a short period of time. Don't stress yourself out trying to be balanced, because I don't think there is. I really don't believe that there is such thing as work-life balance. There are times when work takes precedent. Just let your life happen and focus on the things that need your attention at the time. Ebb and flow. There's nothing wrong with you if you're working hard at the office because you're really trying to accomplish something. And there's nothing wrong with you if you're taking time for your kids. But you do need to take time for yourself. Back to that, I don't have time. You need to make time. Such an important part of who we are and our overall health. Did you know that we have over 60,000 thoughts a day in our head, and over 70% of them are negative? Over 70% of the things that we say to ourselves are negative. And we all talk in our head every day. So just think, if your body hears everything your mind says. So if you could just stay positive. When people give you a compliment, you feel it, you like it. You say that to your kids, I'm proud of you, I'm so proud of you. Well, say that to yourself. It's so important that you change that mindset of positive self-talk. It really makes a difference. And actually, just so that everybody gets a little warm fuzzy today, just turn to one of the people at your table, the person to your right or your left, and just tell them, you are awesome. See how easy that was? See how easy that was? And do you feel awesome? Do you feel awesome? Yes! Yes. Dr. Oz says all the time, we need more meditation and less medication. Taking that me time, those deep breaths. Some of you might be meditating right now, I don't even know. Maybe. But there's no rules. You could be seated, you could be standing, you could be eyes open or closed. It's just taking that little bit of self-reflection time. And there are huge health benefits to deep breathing and meditation. Eat a little healthier, move a little more, and perform a little better, and you will be doing better in all aspects of your life. Ziglar, the late Zig Ziglar, one of my faves. I'm big into motivational sayings. People often tell me that motivation doesn't last, and I tell them that bathing doesn't either. So I recommend it daily. So I recommend a Facebook page or follow me on Twitter. I make it a point to motivate every single day to try to keep you just a little bit healthier. So thank you very much for your time today.